All licenses are a fraud. Brace yourself. Let's go. Book reference. The term license is defined in law as, quote, a permit to do something illegal. What? Hold up. Run that back. The term license is defined in law as a permit to do something illegal. Somebody might be like, well, that's your opinion. See Black's Law's Dictionary, 6th or 7th edition. Receipts. Book reference. License. Certificate or the document itself which gives permission. Are you listening? Therefore, all licenses are permits to violate the only real law. Inalienable rights are the rights bestowed by God at birth upon all living men. All other laws are subordinate to God's law. All other laws are subordinate to God's law. Bing bong. The controlling de facto government wants us to rely on their laws, so they demand that we apply for a license. You see the trick? For example, a driver's license, a marriage license, a gun license, etc. Anything that they say requires a license. That's pretty much everything. Somebody might ask, well, how do they get away with it then? They succeed in this intimidation through the corporate courts and police enforcement by so-called officers who have been brainwashed and reinforced by mandatory training programs. Wow. Book reference. States cannot license rights. A state may not impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the federal constitution. Did you hear that? No state may convert any secure liberty into a privilege and issue a license and a fee for it. Maduk vs. Penn. If the state does convert your rights into a privilege and issues a license and a fee for it, you can ignore the license and a fee and engage the right with impunity. Shuttlesworth vs. Birmingham. Receipts. Remember earlier how I mentioned a marriage license? Check this out. Those who apply for and marry pursuant to a marriage license have added a third party to their marriage contract. The third party is the master, by and through his agent, the corporate state. What? The marriage license gives the state the legal right to decide the fate of the husband, wife, and possessions they procure during their marriage. Keep in mind, licenses are legal, not lawful. Should the marriage fail, their divorce must now be decided by and through the state's corporate court by a corporate judge. And the judge's first and foremost concern is the interest of the state. You didn't need a license, but since you went and got one, the corporate state became your master and you the slave.
So when I was attending to do my lawful duty to take possession of my stolen land and premises on August the 30th, that's 7 o'clock, I had traveled in my automobile to do so, and all of a sudden, I am surrounded by, at minimum, probably a dozen to 16 pathetic, profane, dangerous offenders, all armed, all of them armed, all of them dangerous, all of them the least intelligent members of society. They offer contract, of which I refuse. I don't accept your offer to contract. I don't accept your offer for services. I don't require your services. And they escalated the situation, uttering threats, intimidation, claiming I'm accused of criminal harassment, which is an out-and-out lie. It's an out-and-out fraud. But this has not happened to me the first time. This is now a pattern of behavior. We have a provable pattern of pathetic, base beast behavior by spawn, by the crooked, by the corrupt, by the condemned. So one of the, it's a male monkey. Now, I read souls. I've been doing it since I arrived in 1973. Yeah, I know who you are. You get anywhere near me for any amount of time, and I'll tell you more about yourself than you will ever be able to know about yourself. So there's a male, well, what can I call this thing? It's a monster. It's a male monster. And it has attended this crime that they're committing. It's a hate crime they're committing. It's a crime to publicly incite and willfully promote hatred against me and the Honorable House of Daly in their attempt to protect the criminals who are in possession of stolen property, to protect the trespassers. Because these monsters, the female freaks and the male monsters, are deaf. They're incapable of listening to the truth because the truth is not in any of them. So this male monster not only commits a hate crime on August the 30th, but August the 31st, this male monster now is criminally harassing me, following me around. It comes to my location and hands me this, what you see right here. Oh, it tries to hand me this, and I refuse to take it. So it throws it at me. This male monster throws me this offer to contract. As we can all see, my autograph is not on this offer to contract. Now, we just heard that I do not require a license. And the other thing is, only infants and imbeciles require insurance. Only slaves require insurance. Only citizens require license and insurance. I don't identify as an infant. I don't identify as an imbecile. I certainly don't fucking identify as a citizen. And I don't identify as a slave. So now what we've got is this fucking profane, poisonous, pathetic pig. We've now got the pig guilty of intimidation and extortion on top of everything else this fucking absolute low-life, fucking low-level waste of fucking breath has done. And it's getting paid. It's working on its pension. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, congratulations, Dean Duthie. Congratulations, Dean. The demoniac Dean. Degenerate Duthie. Is that one of your pigs, Dean? Are you proud of yourself, Dean Duthie? So, the pig kidnapped me. They kept demanding I get out of my automobile. I can't do that. I can't aid and abet your crimes. Do you understand that? I am not going to aid and abet your hatred and your disregard and disrespect for the Honorable House of Daly. I'm not doing that. So what did you do, pig? You male monster? Well, you committed the crime of kidnapping. And then you committed the crime of unlawful confinement. Whoopsies. Whoopsie-daisies. But you're really that fucking stupid. Right? You're snakes. Stupid snakes. Crooked. What's born crooked can't be made straight. No. So, and then you're also guilty of intimidation. So now you're trying to intimidate me. You're trying to force me to identify as a slave. You're trying to fucking force me to identify as an infant and an imbecile. You're trying to force me to identify as a citizen. Oh, puke, I don't think so. No, I'm afraid I'm not going to play your little, fucking gruesome fucking games. Your little games. Your sick, disgusting little games. Because you're vile. You're worthless. You're absolutely worthless. You have no worth at all. Oh, and you needed to come with backup, did you? When you came to intimidate? When you came to commit the crime of criminal harassment and extortion and intimidation, you needed backup? Did you? Because I had a witness at the door here. Yeah, and we also caught you on CCTV walking through the building, so I will be, and you need to identify yourself. No, I'm afraid you do. You needed to leave your business card. All three of you fucking pathetic, profane, poisonous pigs needed to identify yourselves when you were here, committing your indictable crimes, of which you're all going to jail for, by the way, and you're all going to lose your jobs. You're fired. You have to resign. And that's immediate. I'm sorry. I govern you. I'm your boss. Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm a sovereign. I'm not a fucking slave. You're the fucking slave. Well, extortion. Here we go right here. That's what they just did. Did you see that fucking ticket? Did you see? This is fucking hilarious. This is fucking laughable. Laughable. This is fucking hilarious. $300 for exercising my inalienable right. And now you want to fucking extort $600 because you're trying to identify me as an infant. You're trying to identify me fraudulently, maliciously, viciously as an imbecile. Now, I'm afraid that's who you all are. Right from the fucking head pig, the fucking head hog, the heathen hog, Dean Duthie, right down to the lowest fucking level of whoever is pretending to be Saanich Police Department, a terrorist criminal organization. So you heard this fellow, didn't you? And what's he talking about? Well, this is exactly what I just tried to explain to Benji Howe and Sandy Dennis, who are in possession of stolen property, which you can't continue to do. And I'm not going to stop. If you think that you've fucking taken the wind out of my sails in any way, shape, fashion, or form because of the outrageous acts of hatred and violence and destruction of my property, now leaving me with no wheels so I can feel safe to travel in my inalienable right to self-preservation, I'm afraid you just don't understand who I am, do you? Because, of course, you're wicked, so you wouldn't understand anything. No, Daniel 12:10 is absolutely the truth. The wicked understand nothing, and that's exactly who's hired to be public servants. Here in BC, anyway, I've dealt with, well, you can just imagine, can't you? When you're not from this world and you're hated by this world, you can just imagine that the beast is constantly coming at you. So this is a law maxim here. Earlier in time, stronger in law, which is what that fellow was just explaining to us. That older laws take precedence over newer ones, right? So Canada's a common law jurisdiction. That's why a Bible sits on the witness box of the whorehouse rooms. That's why it sits there. And so these are Blackstone's commentaries on the laws of England. I mean, this is exactly what this fellow was trying to say. Okay, but a human is a monster. Oh, did you? And here's the other thing. Oh, hold on here. Let's take a look at this. All acts of the legislature, contrary to natural rights and justice, are void. Okay, so now I've been forced into fucking slavery and servitude by these ridiculous accusations. They're laughable. Like, they're fucking laughable because they're both lies. Criminal harassment and obstruction of justice. No, actually, it was you profane pigs who were all guilty of obstruction of justice. And you're all guilty of criminal harassment. You continue to follow me around to intentionally cause me loss, harm, and injury because you're sick in the head, like you're mentally unstable. You have cognitive issues. You can't listen. You don't hear. Okay, so here's what's fucking going on here. Do you see up here? Oh, sorry, excuse me. Pardon me. Okay, gender. Are you fucking for real? Gender? Oh, bitch, I don't think so. No, I don't identify as a female. No, that's how you sex humans. That's how you sex. Well, a human is an animal, right? A human is a monster. Legally, that's how they define a human, and that would be correct. Every once in a while, that fucking legal bullshit's actually, they nail it. Not often, but every once in a while they do. And I'm being identified as an offender? Oh, profane pigs, no. No, I don't identify as an offender. And now, well, this is defamatory libel. Now you have published. Now this is public. So that's the crime of defamatory libel now. You've also got me as a female? No, I'm sorry. I would never, ever identify as a female. I'm a woman. I'm a sovereign. I'm a foreigner. Yeah, I'm an elder, aka, I guess legally referred to as a senior. But I'm an elder. You ever heard to respect your elders? No, they didn't teach you that? What the fuck did they teach you in fucking pigpen school? Swineherd school? What did they teach you? They certainly don't teach you how to be upstanding citizens. Do they? So now we have proof of I was at my stolen land and premises exactly when I said I would be, to perform my lawful right and my lawful duty to stop crime. I have over 50 years of provable good conduct and good character. And it's the beast. It's this beast who continually tries to, well, it believes itself to be the master. No, I'm sorry. No, you've proven yourself to be, well, unfit to govern anyone or anything at any time for any reason. Because all of your agents are antichrist, antisocial, arrogant abominations. And you just proved it again. My body is absolutely screaming. My feet are screaming. I took photos of my ankles. I took photos of my feet. I mean, I can't show you the pain that I'm in. My body's in pain. My hips are absolutely screaming, just absolutely throbbing, as are my kidneys, due to the torture that I endured. Yeah. The antisocial, antichrist animals who dealt with me after they had kidnapped me and unlawfully confined me made sure they were willfully, knowingly, intentionally causing the maximum amount of harm, loss, and injury to me because of their hatred for me, for who I am, for what I am, because of where I came from. So what do you think? So I went and I saw her. I went and I paid to see my automobile. So later on, after I've sorted some issues out, I still have to take care of myself. I'm going to go in and I'm going to record part of the hate crime that occurred on August 30th, 1905, and then the aftermath of my property being complete. So it's the crime of mischief. That's what they did. Over a dozen of them. Over a dozen. For me. So how much public resources have been wasted? I want to see how much the taxpayers have spent to continue their hatred of myself and my family. Dean Duthie, and how about you, Dean Murdoch? Are you proud of yourself, Dean Murdoch? You're the criminals. You have cognitive issues. You can't digest the truth. You can't hear it. You can't understand it. You can't be in public services. You've proven yourselves to be imbeciles. You've proven it by your actions, willful, noble actions. You've proven yourselves that you need to be governed. Yeah. Yeah, so you figure you're going to just continue to extort? Are you? So y'all figure you're above the law, do you? Well, you're not. So this war will continue, and I'm not going to stop. No, you can be fucking guaranteed that I will be taking possession of that land and that premises, and you will be doing everything that I tell you that you're going to be doing. Yeah, the dead don't govern the living. It's the living who govern the dead. And you clearly don't even understand who or what you are. We're all drunk on arrogance. We're all drunk on your arrogance because of those ridiculous fucking names that you call yourself, like mayor and fucking chief and fucking premier and fucking attorney general, fucking crown counsel. You're disgusting. Like, you're disgusting. I can smell you before I see you. You're disgusting. And so this will continue. Oh, what fun. What fun for me to have to now deal with all of this hatred and all of this discrimination. Well, it's severe discrimination is what it is. Yeah, all legal terms. I'm now involved in another malicious prosecution. Every time I get robbed, these crown counselors protect the criminals and come and defile and defame, defamatory libel. Oh, you know that the fucking crown counsels can't be charged with defamatory libel? That's hilarious. Well, who wrote that little fucking loophole into your legal fucking bullshit? Well, that would be the liars themselves. But you can't be charged with a hate crime, Crown Counsel. I can't charge you with hate crimes because that's what you're guilty of. Aren't you? Oh, of course it is. That's exactly what's going on here. Well, and you're aiding and abetting. I mean, what are you doing? Oh, check this out. Oh, it's policy. Yes, it's a policy manual from a satanic cult operating under the guise of British Columbia. Hate crimes are an affront to dignity. No shit. Well, I'll be the first one to tell you that. They threaten the important societal values of equality, diversity, causing division and discord. Well, that's exactly all of your intention towards me. Right? To isolate me and separate me and refuse to include me in access to services and access to justice, access to protection, access to restitution. The harm they cause, even when not accompanied by physical violence or property damage, can have serious, cumulative, and long-lasting impacts. Well, I'll be the one to tell you that. Oh, we're talking about targeted individuals. Are you mocking me? Are you mocking me? David Evie? Nikki Sharma? Are you mocking me? So the impacts affect not only the targeted individual and members of the targeted group, but also society as a whole. Yeah, do you know why? Let me explain this to you. When they murdered my brother with that ridiculous claim that he was breaking the law and he had to go because he was doing the right thing and they were all bent on doing the wrong thing. You know that, well, they said for themselves, let his blood be our hands and on the hands of our children. I mean, you got to be completely fucking Lulu to even talk like that. Because now not only have you cursed yourselves, you've cursed your children, and you've just completely destroyed your society because you've committed blasphemy. You go look that up in Numbers 5:6. You can't be forgiven for blasphemy. And you will reap what you sow. There's no way to get around this. There's no way to get around reaping what you sow. The seed that you will plant, you will reap a harvest from it. David Evie, Nikki Sharma, Dean Murdoch, Dean Duthie, Del Manick, you will reap the harvest of the hatred that you've sown all over the Honorable House of Daly. And you just absolutely fucking continue to try to murder me. You're all guilty of attempted murder. Now you've murdered my little girl, my automobile, my vessel. And now you've put me in harm's way. And you've done it intentionally. Now I can't travel in my inalienable right for self-preservation. Hate is Sorry, I am so tired. Please excuse me. Hate is disproportionately experienced by marginalized communities. What? Especially by those with intersecting identities? Get out of here. Oh, here we go, persons. Well, a person is a thing. A person isn't living. A person, that's a legal term. who have multiple attributes that may subject them to discrimination, including race. Well, wait, well, what race am I from? I'm from a righteous group, which is a minority. That's what we're called. We're called the righteous. The world is wicked, so we're hated by the world. That's what's going on there. That's the problem. We have RH negative blood. We're not even from this world. That's why we're not welcome here. The world wants us gone because we're foreign. We're foreigners. That's all written in Scripture. Hate crimes can cause grave psychological and social consequences, increased vulnerability and fear. For my safety, well, yeah, no shit. I'm terrified every day, all day. Erosion of the sense of self-worth, inclusion, and belonging. Well, listen, I now know who I am, and I know now my value, so you'll never be able again to make me believe the lies that I were told for decades that I don't have any value. I'm priceless because I belong to the living one. I'm a diamond. That's why you can't fucking break me. Inclusion. Well, how can I be included? I can't be included. How can I be included with the world and its wickedness? Belonging. Well, I don't belong here. Jesus explained this. You don't belong to this world. This is why the world hates you. It loves its own, but you're not its own. So that's why it's going to hate you. You have no idea how exhausting that is to be hated. A chilling effect on the speech and self-expression of those who are targeted. Okay, so the other night after they kidnapped me and unlawfully confined me, from the time I got in to that cage that I didn't belong in, probably till about 5 o'clock in the morning, I didn't stop screaming. I didn't stop yelling. I am not going to stay silent while you torture me. I kept asking for the sergeant. I kept saying, you need to let me out. You're committing a crime against me. This is a hate crime. This is discrimination. You have no claim to your fucking allegations. I was stonewalled. This is exactly how they treat me. Hate crime offenses. So the criminal code doesn't use the term hate crime? Well, that's interesting. Oh, this is policy. Right, okay. Public incitement of hate, willful promotion of hate. So every single public servant who is involved since August the 30th, actually, you're going to be identified and you're going to be charged. You're going to lose your jobs and you're going to lose your liberty because I'm the one who's going to hold you accountable. Because, listen, the Crown and the adjudicators, they can't do this. Not only are they completely fucking incompetent, but they're completely corrupt. You're all fucking working for the same thing. You all work for the fucking state. So that's a conflict of interest. They don't have any first-hand knowledge of what took place. I do. I was there. I'm there for it all. On my father's eyes and on my father's ears. And then it just gets fucking, just the stupidest fucking shit I've ever seen. Okay, right here. Let's see here, right here. Mischief to property of an identifiable group motivated by bias, prejudice, and hate. Well, that's exactly what's taking place. That's why my land and premises was stolen. That's why my automobile's been completely destroyed now. By these fucking antisocial, antichrist, like they've been diagnosed with cognitive issues. I've diagnosed you. Yeah, I'm a doctor. Yeah, I identify as a doctor. I identify as a healer. Any criminal code offense motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate based on race, national and ethnic origin, language, which may include, among other offenses, assault. Well, that's what happened the other night. I was assaulted repeatedly. As soon as you fucking hauled me out of my automobile when I told you no, and I kept telling you no, I kept telling you I don't consent, you all committed an assault. And every one of you that was present there are guilty of assault. You're all guilty of criminal harassment. I heard you uttering threats. I heard you. I heard you fucking say, should we pop her tires? So that's criminal mind. And mischief. That's exactly. Okay, so the criminal code identifies identifiable group as any section of the public distinguished by color, race, religion, national, ethnic origin. Well, right, I keep telling you who the fuck I am, and you keep ignoring the truth. Because you ain't going to be able to swallow the truth. You're so busy, your tongues are so busy telling lies, that the truth, you can't, that's what causes your monkey minds to fucking short circuit, and then you become absolutely just fucking violent. And fucking violent. And then this just gets ridiculous. I mean, reading this, it's like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, hold on right here. Crown Counsel should consider invoking the hate crime provisions whenever the available evidence demonstrates that an identifiable group or one of its members has been targeted, including the identifiable groups listed, that have historically may not have received the same level of protection or attention. Well, I can prove that to you. When my son was kidnapped and unlawfully confined, chosen for forced adoption, which is the crime of genocide, then every time I've been robbed, I've gone and I've sought protection and attention to stop crime, and I'm the one who's then assaulted and intimidated and criminally harassed, criminally charged. There's a provable pattern of behavior here, provable pattern of behavior. And I have proof. I have documents, I have documentation, I have my own testimony, which is always truthful testimony. I never provide untruthful testimony about anyone or anything at any time for any reason. That would make me part of the problem, not part of the solution. And I was sent down from above to be part of the solution. The world hates me because I have to constantly point out that what it's doing and what it is evil. I understand the difference between good and evil. This world does not understand the difference between good and evil. It's just fucking hell-bent on destruction. Exactly like it's written. Okay, let's see. Does this actually get any better? Okay, the public interest generally favors prosecution of a hate crime, particularly when the case involves any of the following circumstances. Harm caused to the victim. Harm caused to the victim's community. Relative vulnerability of the victim. Reasonable grounds for believing the offense is likely to be continued or repeated. Well, there you go. I've got since 2009. That's what's gone on. Hate. Hate crime after hate crime after hate crime after hate crime. Against myself and my family, against myself and my son, against myself and my spouse, against all the property that we own. My property, my premises has been vandalized by those who have been in unlawful possession, by those who have had fraudulent mortgages and fraudulent land titles. They have vandalized my property by order of the court. The court ordered the mischief on the property. The court ordered the fraudulent. Well, they aided and abetted fraud on the court. Yeah, the benchers did. So you know you have no jurisdiction, right? Because you have a provable pattern of behavior, antisocial, antichrist, hate-fueled behavior towards me and my family. Consent of Crown Attorney. Can you imagine? Yeah, no thanks. Whenever there's reasonable basis on the available evidence to conclude that an offense was motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate, based on section blah, 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 the counsel should tender the evidence, pursue a finding under that section, and advance a sentencing position that addresses the aggravating circumstances. Well, every single crime against myself, my son, myself, my spouse, all of it, every single time, the motivation is bias, the motivation is prejudice, and the motivation is hatred. This is going to be a real problem for you, Crown Counsel, if you try to move these two charges forward, because you know I'm not going to lie her up. I don't identify as a person. I don't identify as dead. And you have no jurisdiction. If you continue with what you're doing, you're going to be aiding and abetting all these crimes, and I will be prosecuting you. Yes, I will. I'm so sorry, but yes, I will be prosecuting you. You will be losing your liberty because you are knowingly, willingly, intentionally aiding and abetting bias, prejudice, and hate. And you're doing it intentionally. Listen, I heard what you said. You started off lying, and then you just continued to lie. You started off willfully causing me to fear, harm, and injury, and you just continued on. You just continued on with, you're making me be in fear of harm and injury. That's a criminal code offense. So you've already lost jurisdiction. You're an untruthful, you're a malicious witness. You can't continue on with what you're doing. You think that I'm going to let you do this to me and not be restored? I have a fee schedule. I get paid. I get paid for all this hatred and all this bias and all this prejudice. I get paid. I get paid quite handsomely. My understanding, if I remember correctly, I'm so tired and I'm still in shock. So I'm still not doing very well. But I believe my fee schedule is $1,000 an hour, or any portion thereof of an hour. So all this now work that you forced me into, forced servitude, to now defend these ridiculous allegations, I will be issuing an invoice to the province of British Columbia, who will be paying the invoice. Yes, I'm afraid you do, because now we're entered into a contract. You've entered me into a contract against my will. So now that we've entered into the contract against my will, you're going to have to pay me for my time. My time is priceless, unlike your time. Alternatives to prosecution? No, you're going to lose your liberty and you're going to lose your jobs. Victim impact statements. Well, okay, so apparently the neighbors all had their peace disturbed. Well, so let's have a trial on these allegations, and I'm going to require Crown Counsel to call all the neighbors, because I need to ask them some questions. And you know you're going to have to call Benjamin Howe to the stand, because he's the one who's claiming to be criminally harassed. You're also going to have to call the trespassers to the stand, who are also claiming to be criminally harassed. I need to ask them questions. And I have the right to do that in defense of my honor, defense of my good conduct, in defense of my good character. Yes, I have witnesses. I have many witnesses to my good conduct and my good character. So these lies that you keep telling are only harming yourselves. Yeah, so this is caca. This is the province of the pathetic prosecution service policy manual for hate crimes, and yet they're the ones guilty of hate crimes. So, I mean, I have no idea. You're hypocrites. Yeah, you're hypocrites. That's exactly what's going on here. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I've got quite a bit. Narcissist. Well, you're narcissists. Did I already get rid of that? Pathetic. You're pathetic. Well, here's all the synonyms for pathetic. Did I have one for hypocrites? That's what you are. You're hypocrites. Let's see here. Let's take a look at some of the synonyms for hypocrite. Moralist. A wowzer. A snob. A prude. An upright person. A Boy Scout. A prig. Oh, a Pharisee. Well, isn't that who I'm dealing with? I'm dealing with the exact same identifiable group that gang-stalked, that criminally harassed my brother when he was here. They laid false allegations against the innocent man. They ran a kangaroo court on the innocent man, and the innocent man then loses not only his liberty, but he loses his life because of their bias, their prejudice, and their hatred. And I'm experiencing exactly the same thing because of who I am and because of what I am. Yeah. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. If you listen to me and you have sympathy and empathy, well, you're okay. You're okay. But if you listen here and you hate me, and you're just listening here so you can feast off of my hurt, wow. Well, good luck with that. Because what you don't want to be is one of the wicked. No. And every single one of those pathetic, poisonous, profane, fucking pig police officers, you're guilty of breach of trust. You're all guilty of breach of trust, every single one of you. You cannot continue to be employed by the District of Saanich. No, I can't have that. You're a danger to the public. You're high-risk offenders. That we're going to need to remove you as soon as possible. Every single one of you. You're just scoundrels. You're scoundrels. You're wretches. You're reprobates. You're rascals. You're villains. That's exactly what you are. Hypocrite. Oh, here we go. This gets better here. This is what I'm looking for. Here's the list I'm looking for. This is what you are. You see all of these descriptives of you? These nouns? Every single one of them is who you are. You notice Nazis here? That's who surrounded me. The Nazis. The robbers, the frauds, the felons, the cheats. Yes, the ruffians, the fiends, the monsters. See monster. See what I mean? The scoundrels, the rascals, the reprobates. Hey, the liars. You're a disgrace. You're disgraceful. You're good for nothing. You're vile. You don't understand language? Do you not understand the power of words? You don't... Oh, no, you're wicked, right? Oh, right, you wouldn't understand anything. You just understand to murder, to steal, and to destroy. You need to identify yourselves. You were born crooked, and you'll never be able to be made straight. That's exactly why you represent the beast. The beast of Babylonian fucking base bullshit. You have no ability to fucking feel shame or show shame. You have no ability to say you're sorry. You're not going to say you're sorry. But you don't have to, because I'm going to make sure that you are sorry. I'm going to make sure that you're sorry by taking away your liberty and your employment. And now you don't have a pension anymore. Now, I guess we didn't think it through, did we? So, Crown Counsel, I'm collecting proof right now. Boy, you've got quite a hill to climb there to prove those two fraudulent, ridiculous, vexatious, frivolous, without merit allegations, and you're wasting the court's time. You're wasting the court's precious time, and you're wasting the taxpayers' money by pursuing this matter. But that's what you're going to do, because you need to prove yourself a fraud. You need to prove yourself to be guilty of prejudice and bias and hatred towards myself and my family, so you can continue to aid and abet mortgage fraud and trespassing and title fraud and racketeering. Yeah, congratulations. Fuck, you didn't think it through, did you? You didn't even ask me. And you asked me nothing before you spewed all those lies on the record. And now they're on the record. You can't take back what you said now. No, I heard you lie. From beginning to end, I heard you lie. Well, good luck with that.